Hello, people. What is going on? Monday afternoon. The week is fast approaching. Bristol is fast approaching. Everything is looking good, apart from this community. And I'm going to here to talk about today why David Sullivan is a total cunt. And I think people need to start looking at the top of the mountain rather than the man who's the employee. Before I get started, please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV as I sort this camera out, which is a bit skew-if, which is like that. There we go. And yeah, to talk about what the hell is going on in this West Ham community. Right. I was speaking about it the other day, yeah, and someone said to me, James, why do you back Moyes to a point? And I turned around and said, when you look at David Moyes when he come in here, yeah, we have never would have thought we would have seen West Ham be what West Ham have become. Yeah. And I had a little debate with someone today who's a well-known Moyes out person, and they're turning around and saying to me, look at the you can't go back and look at the history. Now, for me, you have to look at history, because if you haven't got no history, you can't build on the future, so to speak. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, when I do look at the situation currently, why is no one not mentioning anything about Sullivan? Yeah, people have now turned around and said that if we don't get those signings and we finish 7th, 8th, it's on Moyes. Well, hold on a minute. What about the ownership of the club? Like, where's the ambition of the club? That's the way you've got to look at this. You have to show some sort of fucking ambition at the top of the mountain, and it filters down into the staff, into the manager, into the players. Yeah, there's no like David Moyes is this, that, and the other. Yeah, we need signings, and David Moyes is like these players. I don't think he's going to turn away players when we've got no players, no strikers, yeah, and we need strength and depth. That's one thing I will say, yeah. So for me, when I look at David Sullivan, yeah, and I look at what he's doing, and I listen, everyone's got their own opinions on Moyes, yeah, and this is not a Moyes in, Moyes out thing, but this is have a look at the top of the mountain, because no one looks at Sullivan anymore. I remember back in the day when people used to be doing protests, people used to run on the pitch, people was prepared to throw out the owners of this club. Nothing gets mentioned about Sullivan there. Why? What? Is it because he's spending money? He's the most wrongest geezer going, yeah? And no one mentions it anywhere else because, like, I don't understand why they don't mention it. Why don't you mention that the owner of the club, yeah, isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing? Do you know what I mean? And is it the owner of the club, or is it David Moyes doing what we're doing currently right now? Is David Moyes overdoing it with West Ham? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Sullivan always said, oh, we're going to finish in the top 4, we're going to go Champions League, we're going to do this. I don't think we do that with anyone else. I really don't. Yeah, I think Moyes has done pretty well in what he's had to deal with. Listen, Moyes has made mistakes, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but to vilify him, and it just seems like Sullivan gets a pass yet again. Why does David Sullivan get a pass? That's the question that I need to ask people today, yeah? And I'm going to come to the chat in a minute. I will say that. But for me, yeah, when you look at Sullivan and you look at the grand scheme of the last 4 years, yeah, it seems like everything's gone stone cold dead on the ownership of the club, and it's all pinpointing on to the manager. Like, people saying that David Moyes is destroying the club. I got a comment earlier on, and I had to sort of look at it, and I couldn't really believe it, really. And I don't know what to say about it. Like, is David Moyes destroying this club? Or has David Sullivan destroyed this club to a point by taking us out of our home, putting us in a stadium that isn't a football stadium, yeah, not taking the local community and people to the local fucking ground. Do you know what I mean? Instead of that, bypassing all of that, yeah, and putting us fucking in seats and fucking right up in the stands. You know what it is? There's away fans in the home section of West Ham now, yeah. I'm not lying when I say this. That's not David fucking Moyes. That's David Sullivan at the end of the day, yeah. And I think you have to have good steps in order to have progression at the end of the day, yeah. So when I do look at this, right, why does no one mention about Sullivan anymore? And please don't say it's because he spent some money. He fucking should spend some money. He took us out of our home to spend some fucking money. Let's have it right here. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point of leaving Upton Park, right? Because if we're going to be the same team as we are in Stratford that we was at Upton Park, why the fuck leave? Do you know what I mean? Why leave? Do you know what I mean? Why not just stay there and be the same team? Like 100-year history, the moments at Upton Park, everything. But no one will say that about Sullivan, right? Daniel Kadinsky's come in, And I think Daniel Kudinsky has helped the situation to a point. But Sullivan is the kingpin of the whole thing. And people say, "Oh, West Ham need to be true. West Ham need to go on. West Ham need to be the best that they can be." I've even said that, but I've also said we won't do that until the original owner, who's here right now, is out the fucking door. You need to get the geezer out the door. Yeah, and he's the problem at the end of the day. I think personally, and this is not a Moyes in, Moyes out thing. Right, this is not. Right, I'm going to make this quite clear. Yeah, it's called a West Ham thing. I'm gonna name it, right, because this is how I feel. Yeah, what David Moyes has done is he's done in spite of Sullivan. Yeah, he's had to put up with a lot of shit from that geezer, right? And I think for me, when I look at people say about how much money we've spent, that's all well and good. Yeah, but I want West Ham to spend money. Right, that's the whole point. Right, we spent money. Listen, we ain't gonna get every signing spot on. You've only got to look at Manchester United and Chelsea. They've spent billions, and their teams are still fucking shit. Right, so we're actually doing it in not in a bad place at present. Do you know what I mean? And I just can't understand where from COVID, yeah, and from the start of COVID, when Dean Garner got sold, there was mass protesters, right, about GSB. The moment we start doing well, the protests stop, everything stops. No one mentions Sullivan anymore, and it's all on Moyes. That's the thing I can't work out. I really can't. Do you know what I'm saying? And people say, well, what can we do? We can't. He's the owner of the club. Yeah, but we're the patrons of the club. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more of us than there is of David Sullivan. David Sullivan's only one man. Yeah, there's millions of West Ham fans all around the planet. And I just feel that the shift of power has gone from Sullivan to Moyes. And I see something earlier on, and I was like, nah, mate, I can't be having this one. I really can't. Yeah, that's why I've decided to do this video. And I was going to do this video yesterday, but I decided to do it today. But for me, I just feel with Sullivan, yeah, people are not seeing the bigger picture here and looking up and going, right, come on, right, this is your moment. Today, in regards of Calvin Phillips, Osmond, and Jota, who's certain that any of them players are going to come in? Because I'm not, because he doesn't do it till the end. And when he does, yeah, it's always too late. Or, sorry, we couldn't get the targets that we originally wanted. Do you know what I mean? You've got the whole of fucking January to do that, and you do nothing. So, you know, I'm going to start off at the top and work my way down, as I always do. Evening, Steve. Hope you're well, mate. I heard you last night on CMB. You done all right, mate. I'll give you that. Like I've said on numerous occasions, the club will never move on. So, so-called next level while Sullivan is at the helm. Simple as. Totally agree. Totally agree, mate. Hope you're well, man. Hope you're well. Moyes is no longer the number one in charge of transfer. He doesn't get the players in this window and slips down the league. It actually isn't Moyes' fault. Our squad is concerningly thin. I agree. Now, if he does slip down the table, if Moyes does start slipping, is that a David Moyes thing or is that a lack of ambition? That's the question that needs to be asked. Yeah, because where we are right now, you should attack it now. Yeah, and I know people are saying, oh, he's going to wait till the summer. That's fucking no good if we're not in Europe. Well, I want West Ham to be in Europe next season, right? So we need to attack it now, right? We need players now. We need to strengthen the team now. Like we need to learn from 2 years ago. Now, it's just not good. It's just not good at all. And people keep saying about Moyes is destroying the club. That's the thing that really grinds into me because it's like, if you think David Moyes is destroying the club, what the fuck has Sullivan done for years? Because he's destroyed the club a hell of a lot worse than fucking what Moyes will ever do. And if Moyes is destroying the club, then I need to find out what Sullivan's done to a point to destroy this club because he's done fucking untold amount of shit. Do you know what I mean? Taking us out of our home, sticking us over there in a football ground, leaving all the local people behind that he promised he would take over to the LS, and he fucked them off. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the ownership of this club. And the sooner he fucks off, the better. Because he's no good. He's a wrong un, and I'll say it from the heart, yeah? I'm not like anyone else. I will say it passionately because I care. And I will not set foot in that ground until that man is out the fucking door. Yeah, because I know he doesn't care about West Ham. He cares about a pound note. Always has done, always will do. He's just a fucking wrong un at the end of the day. I'm not sure. No one's mentioned Sully. I think it's pretty universal dislike. I do agree, though. He's managed to slip under the radar in recent criticism. Totally agree. Totally agree. Now, I'm going to go on to that brings up a good point that I'm going to talk about in regards to sort of Moyes and Sullivan. Yeah. If you really want David Moyes at the club, why did he not just give him a new deal after Prague last year? Why has he sort of let it go down and down and down and caused the fans just to go bosh, bosh, bosh all at each other? Yeah. And people say, James, it's not really in the ground, it's more on social media. Maybe, maybe. But even on social media, it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. Right? There's a difference of opinion, don't get me wrong, but we should all be pulling in the same direction. For me, it all goes back to David Sullivan being cheap because he's too busy trying to sell our best player 12 hours after we have just won our first trophy in 43 years. He's on Talk Sport saying to Jim how good Declan Rice is and how much he wants him to stay, but we know he's going to go, so we're going to have to like get a good fee for him. 12 hours. 12 fucking hours. This is our owner. Do you know what I'm saying? This is not even our manager saying it. And this is what does me. People criticise Moyes, says all these things, but say fuck all about Sullivan. Nothing. Not a word. Do you know what I'm saying? So if David Moyes is your man, Sullivan, why did you not offer him a contract? I'll tell you the reason why you didn't offer him a contract, because you're fucking cheap. That's the reason why. Yeah? You didn't offer him a contract because what you thought is you would wear it down and see where the land lies, see what managers can become available. Now, we don't know whether Moyes is going to get a new contract or not. How the fuck are we supposed to progress and think to the future if we don't even know who our manager is going to be in 6 months' time? It's just stupid. It's just stupid. And that falls on the ownership of the club. I actually think, yeah, whether my opinions on Moyes, and I'm going to sort of get this out there today because I think people got a wrong perspective of me. I don't care either way if Moyes stays or Moyes goes. If Moyes walks out the door at the end of the year, I will thank him for everything that he's done at West Ham because that's the right thing to do. He deserves a lot of credit, a lot of respect for what he has done. Yeah, in the 4 years he's been here, 4.5 years he's been here. Yeah, if a new manager comes in, I'll be excited to see who the new manager is, etc. But I would want the same standards set at West Ham, and anything below that standard is a failure for me because you can't take one man out, bring another man in, and not just do the same like and go backwards before you have to go forwards again. That's the first thing. Yeah. In regards to sort of like Moyes staying, if he stays and West Ham build a side, yeah, over the next 2 years with him, I'm for that and all sort of thing. You know what I mean? If Steidon goes right, he's going to stay here for another 2 years, right? Steidon goes out, four man in the summer of quality, 2 men in the January, 4 man again, 2. Before you know where you are, you built a side up. And then if that side is a really good side, then it is handed over to another manager. I'm for that and all. So I'm quite easy going with it. Do you know what I mean? I don't sit there and go like, oh, this man is like the bane of West Ham existence, because I've seen a lot worse managers at this club. I see Avran Grant, who gets a fucking pass, and that geezer relegated us. Yeah, Glenn Roeder back in the day, as good as relegated us to a point because he was too soft and he couldn't handle the pressure. Right, R.I.P. to Glenn. Right, but at the end of the day, there's been times over the years, over the last 37 years of my life, that I've seen a lot worse shit than this. And clubs and even owners, so to speak, the Icelandics, fucking nearly put us out of business. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a bit very extreme to a point to be going on to a manager that has really given us our best moment. I will say that. Oh, I feel so passionate on this. I really do. I really do. Problem is, we're at a certain level that's then stop running to the stands, still kicking, and then they can down the road to nowhere. I blame Sullivan. I don't get me wrong. I don't like Moyes' style of play. Yes, listen, there's not liking Moyes' style of play. I get it. Yeah, it's shit. If I've got to make that even more clear, if I've got to spell that out, the style of play is shit. But I think when people need to start looking, they need to start looking at why the fan divide is caused. Start looking at why has this happened? Because under a different owner, if that was Postecoglou in charge of West Ham and we just won a trophy, do you think the owners would sit there and let his contract wear down? They've let it wear down because they don't feel comfortable with Moyes. But then if it runs down and they can't find no one, Moyes is the backup plan. That's not how business works in my eyes, mate. You either want the geezer or you don't. You either back him or you don't. It's as simple as that at the end of the day. I like the analogy of being a West Ham thing. Makes sense to me, mate. Hold my hands up. I probably had blunders on when it comes to Sullivan. To be fair, Sam, it's not about being fair. Yeah, it's about being looking at it through the fucking the eyes of what you're seeing. Right now, anyone can be a Moyes out person. Yeah, I know a lot of good geezers, a lot who are Moyes out. Yeah, don't like the way that their opinions are, but I respect them as men. Yeah, but then you've also got to look at it as a West Ham thing, not a Moyes thing, because I think the Moyes thing overshadows what's going on. And the problem is with that is that Sullivan's getting a fucking pass. Because what it is, in one way, Sullivan's sitting back going, Moyes are getting fucking some shit, and I'm sitting there loving life. He shouldn't be loving life, right? Do you know what I'm saying? And people who back him and say, oh, he's been a great owner, how about fuck off? How about that? Yeah, because he's the person who took us out of our home, took us over there. He has a fucking away fans in the home end, yeah, with away shirts. Yeah, it's not even a football ground. People feel like they're so far away from the ground, don't feel close to the pitch, but no one mentions that. Burnley a few years ago, when fans were going onto the pitch and ready to go up to the ballroom and throw him out, yeah, it just seems like it's gone from the total extreme with Sullivan all the way down, and it's just stopped like a knife through butter. Sorry about that vibration on the table. Yeah, but it's just stopped. Why? Why has it stopped? And it can't be because of money, right? Because West Ham was always going to spend money in that ground. Because when you're renting the place for 3 million a year, and Premier League's revenues going up every single year, West Ham should be spending money. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm letting it all go today, people, because I've had enough. West Ham are hopeful Jared Bunn will be fit for Sheffield United this weekend. I won't rush him, mate, Nick. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, if he's fit for the bench, get him on the bench, but I won't risk him. We need to learn from Paqueta at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, I strongly dislike the negative tactics, but there are only so much Moyes bashing you can do. Moyes isn't the whole club. I agree on that. He isn't. He isn't the whole club. And that's the problem. Like, this is not David Moyes' FC. This is West Ham United, and it's a West Ham United thing. And listen, I can sit there and I can sit there with the most Moyes out person and listen to their opinions, yeah? And they say about style of play, but that can all be changed with a different manager, right? But the problem is where has it come from? Yeah, from last year. Because if you go back 6-7 months ago, we was in our best moment. Best moment. Everyone was happy. I will never forget that night on the 7th of June. Yeah. Twitter was going absolutely amazing. Everyone was like fucking hugging, kissing, celebrating. All the YouTube channels were doing their bits. Everything. Everyone was in a good moment. And from that moment to the present day, it's people saying that Moyes is destroying the club when I'm sorry, fucking sorry, Sullivan's fucking destroying the club. Yeah. He's holding fucking West Ham to ransom to a point because he's not a good fucking owner. Do you know what I mean? Everything he's done for his own fucking pound note. 100%. Yeah. And if he cares, yeah, we'll see if he cares in this window. Because if he doesn't do nothing in this window, or the same line comes out, people are going to blame Moyes for that. They're going to say, "Oh, Moyes is refusing players." How about Sullivan? Is Sullivan getting players? Or has Sullivan got the money to express himself in that way? Fucking probably not. I don't know, mate. I'm just on one. I mean, I don't care if he stays or goes. Camp too. I think the pitchforks and torches approach by some of the fans is very distasteful, but I might be in the minority. Listen, it ain't about. I get that, yeah. And people have got their own mindsets, right? And you can't change someone's mindset. But I do think sometimes when I do look at this, I think Sullivan just gets a pass. I really do. I remember, as I say, yeah. I don't want to keep banging on like a broken fucking record. But Dean Garner Sal, there was a complete meltdown. Yeah, people were going mad. Then COVID hit. We didn't have no football. Couldn't even get in the ground. Nothing. Yeah, people were doing YouTube stuff, and it was the closest thing you could probably get to mixing with fans by doing the YouTube stuff in COVID. Right. Sullivan was getting. There was people outside the ground, fucking like marching and everything. Yeah, GSB out, fucking banners, everything. That's all gone completely dead now. Like it just seems like I don't get where that's gone from that to that in the space of like it can't be for a pound note, surely, because he's spending money because that's the whole point of moving to become the bigger club. So yeah, What do you think about the theory that the club could be saving money to have a big investment next summer? I'm not fully sold on it, as I think it's important to invest now, but I understand it. The only thing with that, for me, yeah, is West Ham can only do so much in one window, yeah, because of FFP. Yeah, are West Ham going to go out and drop in fucking loads of money this summer? I don't believe so, mate. I believe this is what I think. Yeah, my own opinion. I believe that the Declan Rice money was literally got and spent, sorry, 2 years ago when we bought Paqueta, Emerson, Skamaka, Tilo, Downs, Areola, etc. Yeah, and I think they recuperated that money back over a period of time. Got rid of Skamaka because he was no good. Got them same money back. Obviously, went around it in another way, but I don't see West Ham going out and spending another 150 million this year. I don't see the managers that people are mentioning. Because yeah, again, I go back. Sullivan does it. Sullivan has never bought someone out of their contract ever. And listen, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You really can't. He does the same thing every single time. He will go after the cheap option. Lopetegui, the ex-Wolves manager, mark my words, will be in the frame. Yeah, it won't be Alonso for me, and it slot maybe, but I doubt it. I just doubt it. Yeah, unless he fancies a challenge in England, right? We ain't getting fucking Alonso, right? And listen, I'm all for it. Yeah, for these high-end managers, I'm all for it. Yeah, all day long. Fucking bring it on. All right, I want West Ham to be the best, but I've got to be real. Yeah, under Sullivan, do you honestly think that we're going to go out and pay out for a higher manager? The problem we've got with Sullivan, he hasn't got to do fuck all. That's the real problem. He hasn't got to do anything. Yeah, he can sit on his hands and just see West Ham go up and up and up, and the money's going to keep rising. Yeah, because of what he's doing, and he hasn't got to invest. Do you know what I mean? So we're in a bit of a crossroad, if I'm honest. If we don't get Europe this year, there's a chance for Quetta or Kudus go. We need signings. The problem is, if Paqueta goes, like Rice did this year, we'll just re-sign other players. Like the problem is, I learnt this with the Declan Rice situation. I can't get emotionally involved with a player anymore. I really can't. Yeah, I rate him on the pitch. I want him to do well for West Ham when they're in the claret and blue. I'm all for that. But there comes a time where I've got to go, you know what? If someone comes in and wants to spend 100, 120 million on Paqueta, who are we to say no to that? Because that 120 million can build a side. Do you know what I mean? And the problem is, excuse me, that it's about West Ham. It ain't about one player. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just not good, man. It's not good. Certain YouTube channels have become successful at peddling negativity. Well, that's not for me to say, mate, because everyone does their own thing. But the only thing with me that I will say is I speak from now. Yeah, every single time. Right? I'm not going to sit there and lie to people because it's just not in my nature. Yeah, I feel West Ham in my heart. Yeah, and always have done. Yeah, I'm fucking claret and blue through and through. It takes me a lot, right? In 8 years, yeah, 8 years now that I haven't been and seen my team play live. Yeah, in at their home ground. I've been to away grounds, but excuse me, I've never been to the home ground because I will not set foot in that ground because I know what Sullivan's like, and I'm strong on this, big time. And I've seen the best moments, and I've seen people who have been like me and gone back. In the end, they've gone back, and I'm like, nah, mate, I can't do it to myself. I really can't do it to myself. I'll be lying to myself, and it'd be wrong for me to do that. But he will be gone soon, right? And the sooner he fucks off, that's when Alonso, Slot, all these other managers might come to West Ham because you've got an owner who does care. Do you know what I'm saying? I just don't believe the current owner we've got is ambitious enough to get where we're going. Is it a David Sullivan that's got us into this situation, sorry, or is it David Moyes that's got us into this situation currently right now? For me, it's David Moyes. David Moyes has got us into this. He's got us into Europe consistently. He's won us a trophy. He's done all of this. Yeah. Sullivan ain't done fuck all, mate, if I'm being honest, other than fucking the basics. Yeah. The odd Danny Ings signing, so to speak, and shit like that. Excuse me. Truth be told, Ricky, it's the next level for West Ham. If we want to progress beyond where we are now, it's the next level. don't know. Let's get Tim in. Tin. Why would any of them be to blame? CMB and crew should take all the blame for acting the way they do. I'm not going to speak about that, mate, because at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yeah, everyone is. I'm entitled to my opinion. People don't like my opinion, but the problem is with me, yeah, how many people speak like this, like I'm speaking to you right now? Yeah, I'm speaking from the heart. And I just feel when people say David Moyes is destroying the club, yeah, that goes way beyond anything else. Yeah, and that's just their opinion. Don't get me wrong, but destroying the club, really? Like, I think there's a lot of other people, a lot of other circles that have destroyed this club. Yeah, especially the ownership of the club. Do you know what I'm saying? And the moment, the day will come when Sullivan's gone. Yeah, and he goes, you know what, I'm selling up. And that'll be a magical day for me because I will be the first one back there loving life. Yeah. I can't sit there in that ground sitting next to a Spurs fan or a Liverpool fan because of David Sullivan's franchise deal. Because that's what it is. It's a franchise. He's trying to turn West Ham into a fucking franchise. He's trying to take the passion out of it. And me and Frankie discussed this the other week. We feel it as fans. Yeah. Nothing against people who want to go and watch a game of football. That's all well and good. Yeah. But when you go and watch West Ham, you feel it. You feel like you get emotional over it. And this is why a lot of YouTubers do their stuff because they love it when we win. They hate it when we lose, and they're fucking passionate, like I am. The difference is, yeah, is I couldn't sit there next to a Spurs fan who wants to come and watch a football match. This doesn't feel right to me. That's not what West Ham are built on. Like, you have your home end, you have your away end, that's it. Do you know what I mean? But blame the owner because he's the one who's got us there and put us in that situation. Shout out to this man. Rick, hope you're well, man. James is Pogmore. It cost me £9 for a Sully hot dog. Fucking hell. Yeah, I know, mate. Thanks a lot, mate, for the £2. I really do appreciate it and the support on the channel. Who the hell signed Corno? We will ever actually know. No way Moyes did, that's for sure. As I say, right, to sort of round this video up, because I'm going to make this pretty short and sweet. I know it's a bit of a burst video, but like, I can't keep hearing people say about David Moyes is destroying this club when there's a fucking owner at the club. And they come out and they turn around and say, well, we can't get the owner at the door. Well, you could do, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't going to be fucking far away. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to enjoy this moment, right, with West Ham, because with Sullivan, you never know what he's going to fucking do. This is a man. This is why I know, right, that the next manager is not going to be the high-end manager that we got, whether Stein's here or not. Because last season, Everton at home, we had a choice to make. We win the game, Moyes stays. We lose the game, we're getting Rafa Benitez. That tells you all you need to know on levels. Sullivan's not going for Alonso. He's not going for these names, man. If he was, and I believed it, right, and I think, you know what, yeah, I've got a point, I'd be speaking like that, but I swear I'll be fucking stunned, absolutely stunned, if Alonso walks in the door. Yeah, I just don't see it under this ownership. I really don't. Yeah, because one, Sullivan's not that type of geezer. He's cheap. He works on cheapness. Yeah, he likes quantity over quality. Yeah, he's like a market trader. That's exactly what he is. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, he's overachieving the last few years. Excuse me, is the reason the club is not completely destroyed by now. He has overachieved, Moyes. One thing I will say about David Moyes, he has overachieved massively. Like, from where he comes in, saves us from relegation. People say he didn't, but I think he did to a point. The Yarmolenko goal against Chelsea kept us in the fucking league, I think, and that 3-2 winning COVID. And then to get us to sort of through that sort of few years of like 6th, 7th, and all that, I think he's done unbelievable, mate. Like, unbelievable. This is someone who's done literally better than what anyone could expect. But the argument is, who's peddling this now? Because it just seems like everything's been put onto Moyes, and no one really looks at the owner. And this month will prove it. Should prove it to everyone, right? There's no signings in this door, right? We need a left winger, we need a covering defensive midfielder, we need a covering left back, covering right back, probably probably even a centre half, right? One of three, right? Left back, right back, or centre half. We need at least 3 signings, I'd say, and we'll see if we get them. Yeah, if we get them, then the club will show something. If we don't, then you have to look at Sullivan. The only reason now, yeah, people are starting to mention Sullivan because they're running out of things to say about Moyes. That's the only real reason. Do you know what I'm saying? Iron ore, what you saying, man? CMB have been ranting about Sullivan out. You are united on this. I'm not why fans would want you to call out an ally. Ali. Don't understand what that meant, but fair enough. Listen up, but I've been saying about Sullivan ever since I started this channel, mate. Right, and I have continued to say about Sullivan for a long time. Now, people might say about certain other people with Moyes. I'm saying to certain other people about Sullivan, and I'm one of them people, mate. I despise that little fucker. Yeah, I really do. And the moment he does go, you will start seeing a different West Ham. That's when West Ham, what people want now, will become that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm fucking going to be there in the front of the queue with it, 100%. And I can't wait till that fucker's out the door. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I've let loose on this one today. David Moyes, for me, isn't the future. Yeah, he's just an employee at West Ham. He's doing his time and he's doing okay. Yeah, if Moyes goes, fair enough. Thank you very much, Dave. Yeah, you've done an amazing time with it. Yeah, the football hasn't been pleasant, but you've given me a fucking trophy, mate. And trust me, I would have done anything for that fucking trophy. Anything. Yeah, I don't give a fuck if it's a European Conference League. That to me is like everything. Do you know what I mean? And also in life, you've got to start somewhere. You have to start at the bottom and work your way up. That's the whole point in life. You ain't going to hit the top of the mountain straight away. If he stays, I do fear the worst to a point, because if Sullivan keeps him here, this sort of divide is playing into Sullivan's hands at the end of the day. It really is. And for me, it's just gonna become even more toxic. Yeah, people have to understand. David Moyes is not destroying this club. He isn't. Yeah, he's just. You don't like his style of play. I get it. It's fucking shit. Right, the low block, the counter attack, the fucking long balls, and yeah, I get it. I get that. But to say the man's destroying the club when there's another man who sits there, don't get mentioned, no one protests about him, no one says fuck all about him. He sits up there in his Russian fucking hat, doing nothing. Why is no one mentioning about him anymore? It just seems like it's all gone quiet on the Western Front with him. But that's for me to say for another day. Anyway, enjoy your Monday wherever you are. I'll be back tomorrow. Bristol City, West Ham need to get something done. And trust me, if we don't, I dread the worst on social media. I will say that. Peace.